It was a nice 3.5 months in the Pacific. We're about to go through the canal. It's not with a smile that we're coming through, but rather motivation and determination to get this boat back up and running.
Views to the Caribbean.
With Hurricane Irma, boats tossed. Here we are at this marina.
Hi, my name's Colin. I used to be a chief engineer on super yachts, but gave it all up to buy a hurricane-damaged Lagoon 450. My friends and I are fixing it up as we go, and are determined to circumnavigate the entire planet. So subscribe if you want some inspiration to live life to the fullest. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the things you did. So what are you waiting for?
After a few unfortunate mishaps, including getting struck by lightning and finding cracked bulkheads in the boat, our Pacific crossing adventures had to be postponed, as we had to head back through the canal into the Caribbean to start the repairs.
So we're about to leave the anchorage. Might just drive around the anchorage and say bye to a couple of our friends and then anchor at La Playita, because at 4:30 in the morning the advisor will come. What am I doing? I'm about to crash the boat.
We've made a lot of friends while stuck in the Pacific during lockdown. The pandemic had brought us closer as a community than normal, as we had a strong sense of really being in this together.
Ah, there you go.
We had all chosen to stay with our boats rather than fly home, and we had come to realize how fortunate we were for being able to make this decision. So it was sad to say goodbye to our sailing community, but we had one thing on our minds: fix Parlay so we could get back here as soon as possible. Just anchored in La Playita. We're about to go through the canal. It was a nice 3.5 months in the Pacific. Thoroughly enjoyed it. A lot of stuff happened. Down to 4. Oh, we got 5 crew. We got a new crew member. She's the crocodile lady. And we're gonna go back to Linton Bay, fix the boat. Not back to Linton Bay, we've never been, but gonna start fixing the boat. Then we'll see what happens.
Have you ever imagined you were gonna cross the canal 3 times?
That's a very good question. Yes, no. One of those things you never considered that you would do in a lifetime, and then you do it 3 times. We haven't actually ever stopped properly to think about what was going on, and now everyone is kind of like, yeah, we're crossing the other way.
It's a bit of a weird feeling. It doesn't feel real yet because we're not as pumped and as excited as we were when we come through to the Pacific side. But the work has to be done. We're all a bit down and out, but we're trying to keep very positive about going across the canal.
Oh, it's fun crossing the canal. Recommended. We did it 3 times. Because we love it.
I'm super excited to cross again the canal because the first time I crossed it, I just hung out with Colin, but I was not paying much attention to the ropes and stuff.
Too busy looking at Colin.
Yeah, too in love.
So this time you're going to be a line handler.
Yeah.
Are you nervous? Are you good with ropes?
Not really.
Are you going to make us hit the wall of the canal?
Hopefully we don't crash. But anyway, we're gonna fix the boat, so I'm not very stressed. Okay, we have the new star of the boat, Aiko.
Hello.
How did you ended up here? Tell us.
We just visited and I asked if this boat needs line handler. I become line handler. Line handler.
We needed her, so we're the only boat going through, so we need 4 line handlers. And as you know, Naomi went back to the Netherlands, so we needed a line handler. So Aiko's come and saved the day. Everything worked out in the end, and we're going back to the Caribbean.
It's so short. Just 2 days we arrived to Linton, and yeah, welcome to Linton Bay.
Thank you.
Tonight, going back through the canal, it just feels funny because for me that was pretty much the very first thing I've done on this boat, and that passage for me was okay, this is happening, and it happened all so fast. Just in these hours I'm realizing we're going through again the same canal. It's kind of like going back to the start. Yeah, bitter feelings for sure, but I couldn't ask for a better group of people to share these moments. So that is good.
Buen día, compañero. Buen día.
Wait, Jamie, give us something. It's not much to give. We just gotta get through the canal, get it done, and come back to the Pacific. What's up, Marty? Got as much to say as me.
So we've actually come in a little bit early into the Lagoon locks. It's 3 chambers going down to the Caribbean. So we're just going to tie up alongside on our port side. We'll release the lines and go into the chamber and then tie up on our starboard side.
James, let's pull it easily, James.
You got a new Panama Canal nickname. This is scary, man.
I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest. A lot of people said, whatever you do, don't take the option of tying up against the wall. But we've got 2 advisors on board and both of them are like, it'll be absolutely fine. So we're here at the dock waiting for that guy who's going to come down behind us. And we're waiting for that guy to leave the chamber. What's the worst that can happen? Here we go.
All the way up to the little hill over there in the top. Right?
Perfecto.
So now when we're going down, if this ball slips into there, then that means the boat will hit and just drag down.
Okay, here we go. We're going down. So far, so good. How are we looking, Ricardo?
This is good. Perfect, perfect.
Going down pretty quick. Not too much turbulence. We're doing this on the way down, so it's a lot less turbulence. This is all just gravity fed out. No, sorry, that way, towards the Caribbean. Apparently there's been lots of crocodiles and sharks coming up from the ocean up into the locks. Wouldn't really want to fall in here. There we go, locks are opening up. All the lines are on. All of this stuff you see around us is over 100 years old. Incredible. All right, chamber number 2. One more down there, and then we're in the Caribbean. What? I was gonna say Pacific.
I know, right?
By the way, these locomotives behind me here, they're the ones that hold the ships in the middle of the lock, and they sometimes only have 1.5 feet either side of the ship as they go into the lock and go into the next chamber. They can hold 35,000 tons of force, and they weigh 55 tons themselves, and they're worth $10 million. Wow. Stop flexing, Jamie. Jamie's mullet coming along nicely here. Business in the front, party out the back. So Jamie hasn't seen a woman in about 3 months. Maybe in Linton Bay there's a couple of sailor girls, who knows? We'll keep you posted. Look at that concentration. The man is focused. This isn't too bad going down. I don't know if I'd want to do it going up. Going down, not too bad. So ladies and gentlemen, behind these doors is the Caribbean Ocean, where the whole Parlay revival story began. As you know, we've had a couple of devastating blows that have led to us having to come here. So it's not with a smile that we're coming through, but rather motivation and determination to get this boat back up and running. It is what it is, there's nothing else we can do. A minute. So, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do except get on with it. Picked a good time to do this, didn't I?
Caribbean Ocean.
Mixed emotions right now. So what I was trying to say before I chose the worst time in the world to have a chat was that it's with a pretty heavy heart that we're in the Caribbean now. This is where it all started, and we did a pretty heavy yard period in Guatemala, 7 months, fixing the boat. And then for this to happen, it's pretty devastating obviously, but we are still in good spirits, trying to stay positive. There's nothing we can do other than to just fix the problem. So there's going to be a lot of money going out in the next few months, but hopefully we're back on track sooner rather than later. We've basically got to bend the boat straight again, so it's a matter of putting the boat into the shipyard, jacking up the bridge deck, and then reinforcing the entire boat. I haven't seen anything like it on YouTube. So here we are, we're at the flats outside Shelter Bay. We're about to drop the lines and fenders off, and then we're going to continue on. We don't want anyone to feel sorry for us. It's all part of boating, and we will get through this. We've been through plenty of obstacles with this boat, so just another thing that we got to take care of. If I need to go back to work to make this happen, then so be it, but we'll get there.
Here's to the Caribbean. Linton Bay, here we come.
So we've just left Shelter Bay, heading for Linton Bay. We're just driving without any navigation. Got an amazing sunset about that behind us. Things aren't that bad.
But we're heading to Linton Bay to start work, I guess. More or less probably start as soon as we get there.
I think there's waves around Wednesday.
I'll start work Thursday then. It's not ideal, but we're gonna have to make it work. Oh, there it is.
It's hard to describe the feeling of having to come back into the Caribbean. It had cost a lot of money and took a lot of preparation for us to go through into the Pacific Ocean. But as I've mentioned before, the disasters that happened to us were a blessing in disguise, as it would have been absolutely catastrophic to have bulkhead failures halfway across the Pacific.
So we have made it to Linton Bay. We're about to pull in. We can see the marina and the anchorage which we're gonna pull into.
Hello.
Buen dia.
How are you, brother?
Everything happens for a reason, and it was simply not our time to cross. We had already put everything behind us, and we were looking forward to getting her repaired and back out into the ocean. Those of you following closely may have noticed a new motto emerging amongst us, which perfectly sums up our situation. It's not ideal, but we'll make it work.